good spirits today. Is
Absolutely.
looking forward to fight night, I presume.
I'm very happy because I come back to Vegas and really because I have like huge fight and a huge situation, huge position. Just this is maybe biggest level for me. 100% is biggest level. And, I feel healthy. I feel strong. Why not? My smiles stay with me.
Were you nervous in the first your first Las Vegas fight, the first time around, and you feel much better?
No, just it's my experience. I had great experience from first fight, and I'm not nervous. I'm professional athlete. I don't have like maybe like 20 years ago I have nervous, not really.
In the amateurs.
Yeah, right now I'm very excited.
Question for Abel. How would you compare this training camp to the last one? Any difference at all?
A lot of difference. More with a purpose. We trained in the prior training camps hard. Obviously, we trained always hard, but this time after the positive test, it was a different edge to GG. He thought he was insulted. He thought he was disrespected. So the camp was more purposeful.
Also, as a trainer, how much easier is it for you to train somebody after you've seen your fighter against that fighter for 12 rounds?
It can be easy, but remember, the other guys are going to make adjustments too. So it's easy because we know what we have in front of us, we know the capabilities. But I have a fighter, as in the Curtis Stevens fight, who's been disrespected, and in his mind he's been disrespected, so he's going to make him pay.
He didn't feel like he was disrespected for the first fight.
Only business. Only business. Yeah, only business.
Now it's personal.
We were just happy to get Canelo in the ring in the first
And now it's personal, Triple G?
No, only business.
Only business again.
So what's the difference then? Did you say the first fight was business and now?
No, just
but
Kevin. Like you remember my first fight. Like we have a lot of respect for each other. Just no, yes, like okay, like take your time. Right now, just 100% focused to real fight, like real war. Because it's just business. And
I wanted to see if I could get both you and Abel to answer this. I talked to a lot of the experts out there, trainers and fighters, and they're all picking Canelo to win the fight. And the one thing that they're leading is your age is a factor, and that your legs aren't as good as they used to be. When you hear that criticism, does it make you laugh or does it anger you? How do you feel?
I feel very comfortable because just okay. I understand it's Vegas and no more Mexican fans coming because Independence Mexican Day, and I believe like true boxing fans, support me because everybody in the same situation with Canelo and for this situation. No, I feel very comfortable. Absolutely.
You're not old. You don't feel like an old fighter.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Just maybe, just a little bit, and it's my experience, my life experience. It's a little bit bonus for me.
His legs look pretty.
He hasn't been dominated yet. He's undefeated because you guys understand the last one wasn't a loss. So until he gets dominated, I think that we can cite his age and cite his maybe he's eroding. But until somebody dominates him in the ring or in training, then I can't agree with that. There's a lot of experts picking the other way too. So I just hope it's as good a fight as we're hoping it's going to be.
Do you think his experience is an advantage in this fight?
His experience is a total advantage. As in Canelo became a better fighter after he got whipped by Mayweather, he'll become a better fighter after he gets whipped by Gennady again.
How did his legs look to you, Abel, in the May 5 fight?
In the May fight, I thought that Gennady done everything. I think that was a preface to this fight because he took out some frustrations in that fight that he has going to take out on Canelo on the 15th.
Gennady, your longevity has been really impressive. There's been very few fighters that have been this good at this age, this long. What do you think about your training and about you in particular lends itself to fighting at this level at 36?
First of all, thanks my coach, my team, my life experience, my family, my sponsor, like a Jordan, like a Hublot, everybody support me, just my legs very fast like a Michael Jordan because I have Jordan shoes. No, just.
Can you touch the rim?
Maybe, why not?
Hey, we saw you shoot that basketball from sitting down, so It's gotta be something.
Right, this is my secret.
No, but really, like,
Don't tell.
what do you do that? I mean, everyone's heard about your legendary training, habits. Is it your work ethic?
Healthy life. Healthy life. Not genetics, I think it's healthy life.
And Abel, what do you think?
I think it's how he grew up. The Kazakh system is proven today even that it's a great system. The way that they make sure that their fighters are not only technically fit, but they're very physically fit, and they teach them how to work hard. I, fortunately for me, got a fighter that had a great foundation, had a great work ethic, had a great attitude about training, and I think that's what keeps him interested, and that's what keeps him at this level.
No, I was talking to Joe Joyce. He said he can't believe how much more sit-ups, dribbles he can do than the other fighters in the motor. Like,
that's what I'm talking about. It's that Kazakh system that was instilled in him to just never is enough. What that Muhammad Ali said that he starts counting when he starts to hurt. So I think if you're prepared to do that, you're going to stay at the top for a long time.
Gennady, I remember before the first fight, the story of the promotion was all about respect. You wore the old clothes. It was like, you guys are fighters in the ring, but afterwards it's a handshake. When did that respect start to go? The respect that you had for him?
After the doping scandal.
Yeah, that was the main
doping
thing.
scandal. Because after first fight, I remember I said, okay, thank you for fight. It's a great fight. He said the same, like, oh, huge fight, like, you're still strong, like, you're still champion, like, just we're very friendly. After doping scandal, like, just, I'm not political, just I'm a fighter. Just for me, this is a terrible situation. And I said, okay, right now we have only business. Not, it's good, it's bad, it's not for me. Just for me, if he's one fight, I'm ready. If he doesn't want fight, okay, just only business.
Also, do you remember that day at Big Bear when that was the first time when you really spoke out very strongly about the doping situation? What was it that built up to that? Was it just sort of the frustration that built up within you, or you wanted to say something? What was
not just one day, just like little by little, like step by step. I remember my first performance to May, for May fight, just more. I know I won this fight in May. I won because it's Cinco de Mayo. Just I want to bring new show for my fans, for boxing fans, for people. Just I want to steal activity. And I understand it's my performance for next fight for September. Like every day is bigger, bigger, bigger. Like
for Abel, Canelo is now going to be going off on a year layoff. I think it's the longest for his career. He had the arthroscopic knee surgery. Do you think that he could be hampered early at least?
No, I don't think so. I think that he understands what he has in front of him. He understands exactly who Gennady is. He's going to be the same guy that was in the last year. If he wasn't 100%, I don't think that he would risk that big ego as big as his head is.
Gennady doesn't say it's personal, but is it personal for you after everything that's been going on?
It's a business. This is business. This is business. It's personal that he insulted us by claiming what he claimed. It's insulting that some of the things that he did leading up to this fight, but no, this is business. This is business, and he's going to pay for this business.
Like a Floyd and McGregor fight. This is not true sport, not true fight. This is more business.
Do you guys think you've penetrated him psychologically, and how do you hope or think that that's going to affect the fight? If you do think you
I just the things that I've said in the past, I feel are the truth. The only thing I had an opinion about was his running, but all the things that I've said leading up to this have made him mad at me. I just want him to do what he's saying he's going to do. He's going to try to knock Golovkin out like as he said the first time. If he does that, then we're going to be treated to a great fight. If he doesn't, then you guys can ask him those questions why he didn't. Maybe he was afraid of the power and being knocked out.
Is that what it is? I mean, you say treated to a great fight. If he gives you the kind of fight like that, Gennady, do you think you'd knock him out?
If you give me a chance, yeah, of course I do. Nobody knows because like huge level, like he is seriously not regular fighter. He is big boxing IQ. He knows he has couple variants. Right now just a little bit different situation. Just more we're ready. Just
Gennady, guys haven't been fighting as long as you and Canelo have been fighting. You reach a certain level where you're really good. You don't change after that, I don't think. You'll be you and he'll be he. And the difference, the first time you get hit, forget plan A, plan B, you become the same guy. You expect this fight to go this, forget the judges, but I mean you and he to fight the same way and it'll develop in the same stuff. The surprises sound wonderful, but when you fight, right?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Right now I feel great. I believe I'm ready for 12th round. I believe. I wanna try to beat him, like knock him down. Nobody knows. I hope we'll bring a huge fight to fans and.
Before you said
But
this is not.
one second. What you were saying, will he be the same guy and you be the same guy? I know all this talk about the rematch, this guy will play and this. It's the same two guys fighting, right? So we should not be surprised. If somebody gets knocked out, we'll be surprised. But the way you guys fight will be basically the same, won't it? Or will it?
Как сказать, я буду самим собой, он будет самим собой, как мы подготовились на эти бои, то есть это покажется 15 сентября.
Well, I'll be myself and he be himself,
Yeah.
And the way we've been prepared, we will see it on September 15th.
Gennady,
Jerry,
you already have a huge
excuse-
support. Oh, sorry.
Jerry, I think they all need to listen to you. You've been around. You know exactly what the rematches are all
I've
about.
only been around since the year after they discovered dirt.
Очень много видел матчей реванша еще.
Gennady, you already have a huge support among many Mexican fans. Have you noticed that support has grown with everything that's happened, with the way the first fight went, what's happened with Canelo and the doping, and what would it mean to you if you have a very strong Mexican support on Saturday?
First of all, thanks my Mexican fans. And I believe like more. I bring more after scandal. Not just people he want like clean fight. He want clean fighters, and people like true fighters. Like people like true heroes. This is not for nationality, not for nationality. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not American. Just I'm original from Kazakhstan. Just I like America. I'm living. This is my second home. Just like I have my opponent. He's from Mexico. He's not American. So many American people support boxing, not because like this is boxing. We are professional athletes. Just a little bit different. The same like Mexican people support me because people like my style. The same like Russian people or Kazakhstan people support Canelo because because he's young, he feel power, he feel like he's huge athlete, just like that. Not because he's Mexican and doesn't like me.
Sure.
No.
Abel, do you have
This is
confidence?
sport. This is sport, yeah.
Sorry, Abel, do you have confidence in the judges here and for the Nevada Commission this time around?
I think that this time around we have a great set of judges. Steve Weisfeld is probably the most respected in the world. Tim Reddy, exceptional referee, judge, and Feldman, who I don't think I've worked with before. I don't see any discrepancies in some of the scoring. Yeah, he has ideas, but it's generally very, very accurate. The referee, I'm happy that they brought somebody from out of town, out of state.
Have you ever refereed a fight with that guy? I mean, have you ever worked a fight with that guy?
No, I don't think so. I believe that maybe when we were both a lot younger, but as of recent times, I don't think so.
Gennady, you used the phrase scandal several times today. Do you not believe there's any chance that it was contaminated meat and he just made an honest mistake? Are you convinced that there was something more than just an honest mistake?
I'm not believe for beef. Кажется, я не верю, что это было мясо. Мне просто не нравится, что вот эти вот оправдания и ссылки на мясо, то есть, если фармацевты говорят или в этом объеме, то есть, это невозможно. Что это за чепуха, за бред это вообще, что это?
I don't believe his stories about contaminated meat. And the experts and the pharmaceutical experts actually determined that was doping, not contaminated meat, and contaminated meat. And I think it's all nonsense. I don't like to hear his nonsense stories about contaminated meat.
So some people would say, why would you fight, if you think he intentionally cheated, why would you fight him again and say, I'm going to stand up for my principles and I'm going to fight somebody else because this guy cheated? If you really believe that, why wouldn't you make that stand?
I said, yeah, every time I'm ready for anybody, just, for me it doesn't matter, like, I know just first fight, like second fight, just I'm ready for fight. No, this is not my point, just I'm ready for, he bring doping, not, he don't use doping, If commission bring him, I'm ready. If commission, not bring him, just, okay,
So
fight.
does that go back, you talked about, your street fighting days, does that go back where, on street fighting, a guy can have something in his pocket, he can have brass knuckles on or whatever, that you have to be ready to fight anybody at any time under any circumstance?
Absolutely, because this is fight, this is fight. Street fight is different, like, boxing fight is a little bit, different story, it's more easy. I'm a fighter, right now I'm a professional fighter. If you're legal, like, just for commission, for everybody, of course I'm ready.
You have to follow the rules in the ring.
Yeah.
And I just want to be clear on this, did you think before the last fight, you didn't say it, but did you look at CANELO and say he looks bigger than I've seen him in the past? Before the first fight?
In September.
Last September.
Я не скажу, что я думал, то есть если комиссия его допустила и у нас был бой, то есть как это, нет смысла об этом говорить. То есть, скорее всего, он был чисто, но он зазвенел, вот в этом факт же, все, ко второму бою.
Well, it makes no sense to guess, was he taking something or not. When a commission allowed him to fight, so it means it's all legal. The other thing is that he got caught the second time. That's important.
Before we wrap up, can you give us something definitive? What was the issue on the wraps taping?
Here in Nevada, they seem to accept the stacking, which everybody in the boxing business knows it's an illegal way of wrapping hands. I think Tim Bradley said something on the telecast in the last fight. But because Nevada allows it and the rules are very vague, there's not more I can say about not accepting that. But I will say though, there is rules in their bylaws that says that you're allowed to use a maximum of 12 feet of 2-inch tape, which in turn would be, say, 24 1-inch tape. If you look at the video where I protested, they used a whole roll on the first layer, which is 30 feet, and they used another roll on the top layer, which is another 30 feet. So to me, that's more close to 50, 60 feet. I am questioning that, and I've had, Tom and I have had discussions about that with Mr. Bennett. I want those rules followed. If we're going to follow them, we're going to follow the rules.
Are you going to bring that up at the
Absolutely, I'm going to bring it up. But I want that now, though. I want that talked about now. I don't want to wait to fight or to wear in a dressing room. I don't want to disrupt their concentration. What I'd like to do is get it resolved now, because it is 24 feet. If it's vague, it's vague. I understand that. But if it's in the rules, then follow the rules. Specific.
The rules meeting, by the way, is tomorrow at 10:30.
Yeah, and also, what did you make of them trying to use those custom gloves at the Reynoso's?
Everybody blames me for turning them down. I didn't turn them down. On Wednesday, when Tom and the Golden Boy people had their walkthrough of the venue, Tom calls me Wednesday afternoon and says, if you want to see the gloves, drive up tonight from Big Bear. I stopped the training, didn't train that day with him, somebody else worked with him. And I came to Vegas to be told when I got here that the Golden Boy people objected to me looking at him by myself. So we made an appointment for the next week on the Thursday. I believe on Tuesday or Wednesday, Tom gets an email from Mr. Bennett telling them that they refuse the gloves. They're not going to allow them to use the gloves. So for me to turn them down, I have to look at them first. But I understood just last Saturday we had a fight at the forum where the commissioner in California said they turned them down for any fight in California, meaning a forum.
He's going to look at it.
Now, you have said before that you didn't believe the meat excuse, and now you also said that you saw track marks on his arm before the first fight. You said that a few months ago. Does that mean if you thought he was cheating the first time, now there's more comprehensive testing? Do you think that you're going to face a CANELO who's different this time around? Do you believe this?
Вы верите, что действительно, что в этот раз CANELO не будет ничего употреблять, никаких запрещенных?
Ну, меня, по крайней мере, это меньше всего беспокоит. То есть, если я говорил, что были видны следы от инъекции, но на самом деле они были видны, кто может отрицать это? То есть, или вы настолько то есть защищаете его, эти следы были видны и все. Меня это меньше всего как бы беспокоит, и в данный момент мне меньше всего это беспокоит. Мне без разницы, у нас есть бой, я рад тому, что у нас есть бой сейчас.
This is the last thing I would be worried about. You couldn't deny that there was some injection marks on his hands. That he wasn't, his arm was injection mark. I don't know what it was, but the injection marks was evidently there. But right now, it's the last thing it worries about. I'm worried about the fight. That's the most important thing.
Where were the injection marks at? Can you show me on his arm where you saw them?
Месте руки были примерно вот эти от инъекции.
Все мышцы, то есть это и бицепс, и плечи, и пресс, и то есть, везде были.
Well, everywhere, biceps, his stomach, pretty much everywhere, all over his body you can see injection marks.
But these were from photos people sent him?
Yeah, understand that this is, he's reading this off of, or
Okay.
he's looking at.
He did not see that in the
It
ring
wasn't
that
him,
night.
yeah, it was things that were being said to him, he was just relaying what was obvious on the picture.
And Abraham, it's your belief that he was doping for the first man. That's your belief.
No, I don't wanna say that, no, what I would say is that I would have liked for him to be man enough to come out and be truthful right off the bat and tell us that when the thing came out, instead of waiting 3 weeks for it to cancel a date, because he was thinking, hoping that thing was gonna be okay by the Nevada Commission. Really?
Okay, I guess what I'm trying to understand is like, so Gennady, you said that you don't believe the meat excuse that you saw the injection marks. So does that mean you think that he's going to be at a different level this time, that he's not being helped by something?
Да, Сергей, объясните, мне вообще без разницы. Я говорю, это не то, что я говорю. Это приносят, это показали фотографии, где видны инъекции. То есть это же не я говорю, что вот он использует инъекции. Да. Вы ему объясните то, что как бы вот эту тему они сейчас поднимают. Да, то есть это не я же показываю, это люди принесли и показывают то, что есть инъекция. То есть мне вообще без разницы, этот бой был, и я готов сейчас, и я боксировал, и я готов сейчас боксировать. То есть меня это вообще никак не беспокоит.
I want to state it very strongly. I don't care about that. That's the last thing I worry about. And it's not me coming out with the story that he has injection mark. People show me photographs, and you could see the photographs that there was injection mark to it. But that's the least thing I'm worried about. Let's just not talk about this anymore.
He's just focused on the fight in September. He says his belief is if the Nevada Commission clears him and that he's licensed, then he's going to fight him. If they did their research and he's done all of his VADA testing as part of our contract, then that's what he's focused on Saturday.
Tom, let me ask you this then. Is there any concern on your part that the testing didn't begin soon enough for this fight because of protracted negotiations?
Let's put it this way, Tim.